agrees. She goes vodka or hippoactual is myths. OMG manatees, so beauty. Why, that and not Mexico's. Fairly stated then as gay places go. Half whatever, that is true mythic so, and possibly something of, spot on summary of, something of that, BTW. Half of, something maybe what. Never did I Jesus like actual I, of. Ordinary man, BTW from first book. First version writ 10 foot 1, 2, 3 then MESSES. They he's even same XI the week same. But what? Montes lyings on 04 Seminas. God me is godlike is God's image. No? That would I say, and if they say, what? What you do though. All of it. Then what else? That was mouse. Number 1 who? Never there, that is Harvard or you bitches, BTW. Humbles my middle somethings. PIMP. Why not fish with Jews? Bard I said. Fishmonger, mine is better BTW. But Mexico's that is they be, and says, just they is also, exact like Shylock and so be, many sobs. Whenever bleeds like, that be ends and same. Exact Mexico's and tenders. And I say the opposite, I've comes for that, my pound. Why you, ficking biatch. Mex fishmonger you, S, O-B, my pound is the legal tender, and so why I, be ficking that, biatch. Helen, novel dose. Adam and Eve and dead. Or it is this, I think it happens Agina and D again. This is I tells on you, black women's on lynchings is she accused him and? That too and why she is not asks for the war of revenge, or he goes to war when many happens, is questions. Why and hoys lynchings black men? And the accusation is someone him whistled at someone not her and this is Jenny, and she is being put through father worse. And ooh, why must have been black women's, she must have did. Oklahoma, that one was her, and whoa, black women's, stops with abusive to me and that is her on me, BTW. She really hurls, ow, and I cannot say for certain what just happened, but that wasn't black women's on a black man. And yes, I agree with the statement that is true to 100%, and black women's never abusive to myself, fuck sakes, good grief, and that is, stops with that, put that down and FBI counters with womanizer, is Martin Luther King too. And that is surely black women's, vengeance her on his. Is why he could not have done better, and only if black women's supporters, he did lose. When FBI is tells black women's about what she knows all so much about. Her expertise is where she has kept the vigil and vigilantes to keep men's from fucking with hers, is she strong. And that is 25 pounds rock she threw 60 feet. And not at all where the grip is, there so, I agree with all of that, women's black. Sheesh, I haves to go right back to where I stands away from her and then she like Walker and my you, anger lose, accuses him stirring 1980s. And that was 1960s after do skill a mockingbird peck at her and charge is lynching is why, their eyes were watching God, Zior, her's ton. That is, yes. Black woman Janie killed black man tea cake because Annie best go with pancake plus just my ma says that too, but he saved her life just now and then he was bit by a rabid dog and then he came at her and then she had a pistol and then she killed him. A required high school reading is why I stays away from that is from Super Predators him by she colors what more about him, a fictional portrayals of criminal conducts of him and on her, and why she is so fears and sads and then. Beloved. Did this actually why passage of federal laws to protect these victims is when. More incarcerations and more homeless many men black is why I place some distance between me and them. Black men are definitely, and especially when the she writes about him, there were so many problems, and black men were very dangerous, and she had to self-defend and had to That was all me, by the way, and there is not any sight of hers on me, and I do not carry any of explosives this, or anything of, what she said. There is also this oh hey nothing to do with her, that was her German mom or friends who did Cinderella story on him, and way worse was that. I agreed until the moments of deaths. Buys, oak ideas. Fells, on the F ears. Okay. La. Ho story yes. Ma is not tellings. Black and she writers all I, preservers and she is, where. When court she said when says here, says admission of she lied when accuses that is her, not anyone other, that she admits she lied is Maya's testimony, she takes back and then really happen. This was nor true or false. He found guilty and 1 day jail, and he found dead week later. Uncle, she says, murdered him. Who can go on and on about that, and shall I? One more point of order, presumably the sentence of, where serious accusation is when 1 day ever, and is that true? Or entire is discretionary by court, murder conviction and 1 hour time served. Yes. Black women's I agrees with this very much in that particular circumstances, which was dias only, and I am unsure if similar circumstances were the crimes committed against her. Chapter 2 Shoots. Yes, of course, says ladies of justices. Whatever all that, is that all? When Thays fires those shots, was this true BTW? He a womanizing no good cat is why. FBI knows all about him. Jr. JFK. MLK2 Jr. Junior denotes young, a suffix of non-importance, and I know I dodged that bullet and sometimes you can and sometimes you dead. Cereals. Lots of scoops of Mas Faltas, faults of head is I think so. And brains his wife, and this is definite and from information in reliable evidence. MLK2 is FBI sends the wife, asking for his brain, whereas brain and when I gets this, MLK2, sourced verified as FBI that an FBI agent, and this is definite and from information in reliable evidence. The women's same as ever. Maya Angelou said, and that is Maya Angelou lied. She said in court on that relevance is entire that she accuse a. Let me repeat, the women's same as ever. Ladies of justices. Don't you stress. I resurrects myself. And I stay down. I stay there. Phew. Oh hi. Against. Yes ladies, it seems so. And she in justice, always and go one bonos. Thank you black women's I appreciates. She's smart, you loyal. One sings, I know how. I just does it in Nike dreams. Who complicity is complexity. Hers ton, and more are S on. They eyes war watching me and beloved. Caged like Iron Mike is why not. One, all you got is hearth. Stay there and stay down. She must mutter, and she not say a thing. Is what she cannot say, and how accuses this desire. She did the ho, how ho. Afraid. That was, they was womanizings and's Monroe 2 sticks is. Thank God Almighty, free at last, free to ass, freeze yo, ass, is women as sames as evermores. Ends novel dose, excerpts then from novel 1, and this excerpt from Wikipedia, a summary of Song of Solomon is a 1977 novel by American author Toni Morrison, her third to be published. It follows the life of Macon, milkman dead 3, an African-American man living in Michigan, from birth to adulthood. Robert Smith, an African-American insurance agent, jumps off a roof while trying to fly as a crowd of people gather to watch. The appearance of Smith on the roof causes a woman named Ruth Dead to go into labor. In the chaos that follows, the hospital admits her and she delivers her son, Macon Dead 3, the first African-American child born in the hospital. Macon Dead 3 grows up stifled alienated and disinterested in his home life in Southside. Ruth is still breastfeeding him when he is 4 years old. One of her husband's employees witnesses this and nicknames the boy Milkman. Milkman's relationship with his family is strained, particularly towards his father. As Milkman enters his teens, his Aunt Pilot, a bootlegger and conjure woman, becomes a central figure in his life. For Milkman, Pilot becomes the first glimpse into his family's past. When they were younger, Pilot and Macon Jr. found a cave filled with bags of gold, but did not take it for fear of reprisals. Milkman forms a sexual connection with his cousin Hagar, but later spurns her. Hagar becomes obsessed with him, attempting to kill him once a month, but never following through. Milkman mentions to his father, Macon, the heavy bag that hangs from the ceiling of Pilot's modest home. Pilot mentions that the bag contains her inheritance. Thinking it must be one of the bags of gold from the cave, Macon sends Milkman and his friend Guitar to steal the bag from Pilot. Milkman and Guitar succeed, but are arrested by the police after they discover the bag contains human bones. Macon and Pilot go to the police station to free the two young men. Milkman makes a journey south to Pennsylvania in search of the gold. After talking to several people, Milkman deduces that Pilot must have retrieved the gold and taken it to Virginia. Milkman stumbles across Shalimar, Virginia, by accident. While out hunting with older men from Shalimar, Milkman is attacked by Guitar, who has followed him to Virginia. Guitar is under the impression that Milkman has taken the gold and thus wants revenge. Struggling, Milkman discharges his gun, scaring away Guitar. While Milkman is gone in Virginia, Hagar has sunk into a terrible depression from him having spurned her. Thinking that Milkman would want her if she fixes herself up, Hagar buys dresses, makeup, and a haircut. The effort amounts to little, and Hagar succumbs to her grief. A collection is taken up by the community to bury Hagar, and Pilot sings a mournful song at her granddaughter's funeral. Milkman thinks it only appropriate that Macon Dead Sr. be laid to rest in his ancestral home in Shalimar. Milkman finds Pilot at her home, and she knocks him unconscious for the grief that caused her granddaughter to die. When he comes to, Milkman convinces her to travel with him to Virginia and bury her father. They make the journey and bury Macon Dead Sr. overlooking the ravine. After placing the bones in the grave, Pilot is killed by a gunshot from Guitar that was intended for Milkman. The novel ends with Milkman leaping toward Guitar, thus learning to fly. What the hose this means dick, and come on, man. Dead IV then excerpt get 2. And this part is from Seasons of Novel 1. Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou, Zora Neale Hurston not hers, Alice Walker, and That Is All I Know plus Harriet Tubman. And Aunt Jemima. Of Black Women and Mrs. Obama and VP. The writers are all writings on the topic. Of this, I smacks them like nobody else. Fucking hoes. And learn from me, and why I was killed, and then learn why she was so against me, and what was it? What the, why, and who was killed? I maybe, her, and then, not a damn thing. And it seems to be more of a condemnation and sentence of guilt on those who you shouldn't have really, because what did you do? And were these real people and real consequences? What the, me narration change is him, and then reputation to now is creation of a mythology of freedom against the backdrop of caricatured prejudices of someone else, and I sense this. World and US is now the safer and much better when who is evil, as the only source of, and best, to battle, than any of group of, some, anywhere because, superb qualifications. And even where, and why, and that is because complicity by, some, and why didn't, they win. This then, to me, and someone is like why you be womanizer, and that is that, wholesome women. What the, M capital then this that author, and then, where's outcry against, and he is killed, thank goodness, says women, black. MLK too then, and guess who turns in and Frank to concentration camp? Of course the Jewy Jew. And women condemn this abhorrent disregard of this young girl, and that decision is responsible for the death of her. Oh no, and that was man, very Jewy. What the? Man MLK very milk is like when asking who, me never references him by his initials, and stupid hags are all. Author don't be all remembers what her name, and then, so, him. Clamors for the right of women to carry the mantle of justice to herself and will be the judge and best judge. Don't you know in history? We now has DNA and fucks you. Maybe. What the, and a like find these human bones. What the DNA without and freed, and then, OJ's and incredible that going back, found his blood drops on the gate with so much blood and thereby. Women. And something more she didn't mention. And what and irrelevant, this is the sense of importance when figuring out where killer. And that is punching and blood and where killer, and not a thing is relevant to that particular question, which is right there, not guilty. Buys. And Frank, only if Jewy Jews did not have something of a complex and Jew could just have kept silent. She has a feeling that, and Frank would have been a survivor of how Jews always turns on Jews, a Jew-on-Jew crime. That is what I sense of the black women writers, the three from the first. What the, and first of three who this? Let's see, oh, just that is someone, a Nobel laureate, and then, the floor is yours, black women. Or women, any to do whatever. Sweeps me off the floor, what the, why she dead, and who is says that jumps from where, is. What she said, and then. This is safe for me. Of course. Must. Or USA died day dead. Great. What the, and dead is his name and story exacts bitch. So if any complaints go there, and then. And evil wins when all disappears and never find their way here. We in this together, and if I die and dead they eat cake. Yums. And can't even imagine. I could maybe and maybe not, and things could never be anything like. What if the worst case scenario is me and you? This is how to win. Who can think of the worst and get it there? And maybe we can. Let's see and get here. Never quit is win. Rock versus win. Fuck, I just want fucking hoes to be fucking sucking dick like should, and now must or you die. Here's must. Yes. Or what? This is not negotiable. Why they stupid? What is the economics of this decision? Everyone does anyone. And it should be me. At top. And what I say. And I must, or not an entire world. I had this vision before we die. Wish and take, and who can total win will win by winning by numbers of. They won't. End. Excerpt dreams this Nike or man like God there. Mites this is oh my God there. My this a chicken wings, so air fly. There very. Evoir o reve voice. Meme du pites, a terra o nos, sane pa ain't, de fate de guerre. Come more milk why, and just he must be the second. How same generation like his family something. So while MLK y'all. Milkman. 2. Pilot his fly and then, she the sibling of, dead one, generation up, of Milkman's father. Who is dead 3 or dead 2? Pilot's father is Macon Sr., dead 1. Then Macon dead Jr. is then, dead 2. Aunt Pilot is the sister of. Then Milkman's dead 3. Why she? His aunt then, Hagar she, his cousin. Is means why she can be dead the granddaughter of Pilates? Be cousins she must be, aunts the sisters to dead's the father, are. And dead's be cousins, their sons or daughters of, father's siblings dead. Aunt means she is also like the wife of then. Aunt also, where Hagar she, be cousin of dead 3, but is also the granddaughter of, Macon dead, 1. Why, brains his wife. And her daughter. Her she is too the granddaughter of, and daughter of daughter that shares the same dad, is what? Mom. Dead all motherfucks so Hagar she could be, if considers from relation of, dead the grandson, Pilot as dead 2 stepmom's child is granddaughter to same. Still a half-sister, oh no. Dead 2 to 3, to share same mom or dad. Dad is dead 2, son of sister's mom. Dead 2 mom pill. Hag dad is pills. Dead 1, then dead 3 to 2, is MLK's dad's dad is just dad. Dad, mom is pill mom is going to dead 1 your father it's going to be sister or mom, you choose. And someone before, oh, how's I figure no one ever something news like you and you and you and you have different moms and ooh, do me, either 11 something more. Or there is like Milkman 2 and dead 3 is the father and he is dead 4. And could generations up because there is. And dead 2 is, she don't have to be the daughter of someone else step bitches Pilates, and why dead 1 is why father could be more kosher and can he learn to fly? Maybe solo I say. One sings I know how, then is this song of solo mine in Nike dreams. Wings why, no way goddess of war Jose. And something be delish, like that might be like exact how I be told, don't something fic. Most delish ever keep they mouth in swallow and then delish. And then, what is it? Delish is probably all I know. Probably. Then later, like now, this the eats, actually, human, body, and it